What we've got is again, a Scorpion product. We've looked at every make and model that's out there of an automated side loader. We've looked at all the areas that have had breaks and cracks in the arms, the good, the bad about the operation of the equipment, the angles of dump, the arc that it has in the arc cycle, dump cycle, things of that nature that can help or hinder a product. What we've done with the structure on this one is we've made the structure a lot beefier in steel sizes, wear bars, things of that nature. We've also widened out all the pivots to where it will support the offset load. In addition to that, we've got the inner and outer arm. We have a patent pending design on our roller setup to where we have all of the AR wear bars, but then we have a 22 roller contact point on the inner arm to prevent any single point contact or wear or indentations on the wear bars. In other words, the inner arm is just floating to the roller setup. All of the hose routing, the electrical harness, the proximity switches, and all have been very carefully reviewed and placed to where they're not going to be hit by any obstruction, and also routed for minimum wear in the arm's movement. The track assembly that we've installed, the tubing connections are all rigidly mounted with bulkhead ends on it. Harnesses are very well protected, including in the front area where the hoses would normally hit the containers or hit things when it goes up in the dump position. As you can see, the way the hoses are routed through an area in the front, again, they're protected to where it's not going to get obstructed by anything. In addition to that, the tubing, again, is clamped and bulkhead fitted. And you can also see that the hoses are in a track assembly that protects the hoses during its movement. Now, the way this is set up, this is a very highly used robotic mechanism that's used in other industries, and it's working very well for us to protect the hoses and keep everything separated. It's also easy to replace the hoses without pulling the track apart. All of that was very carefully looked at in its design. Okay, again on the arm assembly, it's some of the things that we've looked at. As we described earlier, the MD3 control box that's in the cab has a 4-wire rubber covered cable that comes to this XA2 module that's on the arm. There's also another one on the body just like it. All the parts are identical to where they're easily replaceable, they're easily exchanged, and so forth. Something else that we've done is we've also taken the hydraulic valve for the arm assembly. We've actually mounted it underneath this cover. The cover is protecting it, of course, for any tree limbs, things like that may hit it. But the main thing was to try to get it in a location to where the mechanic is not having to climb on something, crawl under something to actually get to it. Take this cover off, he can have full access to the hydraulic valve and any component on the valve itself. Pressure checks, relief cartridge settings, and things like that. The quick disconnect for the pressure gauge is located at this point. The main relief pressure setting is at this point. And then, of course, there's a couple of reliefs in the circuit for the grabber arm. Again, we've taken a very close look at every system and component on this truck. The hydraulic system is very important to us, especially in the heats of the West, to where we can keep the temperatures down. One thing that we've done is we've put the hydraulic tank above the chassis frame, therefore there's no cavitation to the pump, whether it be on a PTO mount or a front mount pump. The other things along with this is that we have the shut-off valve external to where you can get to it easily without climbing under the truck. Has a return line filter, has a breather, and of course the filler cap, and then a clean out that's very easily accessible for cleaning the suction strainer. All those components are standard. Along with making the location of the components easily accessible to maintain and troubleshoot, we have also utilized the ICAN system to control the hydraulics, to control the cushioning and things of that nature. Therefore, it has allowed us to eliminate the cushioning in the cylinders, which of course generate heat. Right now our temperatures are running in the 160 to 180 range. with ambient temperatures of 110. We have a ladder that we put on the unit as standard. There's always times when you need access to the top of the body. With our design, however, we have tried to eliminate any need for the operator or mechanic to even enter the hopper area. The packing mechanism is such to where there's no component parts that are in need of lubrication, maintenance, or anything like that. Everything is accessible from the outside. Hydraulic cylinders for the packing mechanism are on the outside. Nothing is under the body. There's no cylinders, no holes in the floor. So therefore we've eliminated the need of really getting it under the body or in the body. If by chance you do need to use the ladder, we do have a proximity switch that when the ladder is let down, that the whole system is shut off. There's no components working at all. There are times when, of course, an operator is going to drop a can into the hopper. Well, our system is set up to where we have the packing mechanism that can actually push the container back up to the top position to where if the operator does climb up, all he has to do is stand on the platform and he can actually push the container over the side without getting into the hopper. Again, our whole effort in the design of this product was try to make it as simple and easy for the mechanics and operators as possible. Something that we've also done, if you'll look at we have the two proximity switches for the slider mechanism. We have a rotational switch that gives us the sweep blade position. We got total control of the packing mechanism completely from the cab. As you can see, the two proximity switch locations, everything is located, it's rigid, it's mounted to where there's really no adjustment for it. The harnesses that come down from the proximity switches are molded harnesses that are factory manufactured all the way down to the molded junction block that's mounted on the side. All of these connections, of course, go to the MD3 that gives the signal back to the control box in the cab. And again, it's a 4-wire rubber cord that goes from the MD3 here to the MD3 on the arm, and then from the arm it goes into the cab. It's a 4-wire rubber molded cable.